Well, take a final look at this Skoda Felicia. The hatchback family version is about to be turned into a rally extravaganza. Mark, what are you going to do to it?
Well, first of all, tonight it's going to be pulled to pieces, engine taken out, the whole lot. There won't be a single nut and bolt left on it.
The engine, though, you're not allowed to tweak. Is that true?
That's right. Yeah, you can't touch the engine, you can't touch the gearbox or the differential or the brakes. It's got to remain standard.
Now, you can change the inside of that. In fact, you've got to put a roll cage and various things. Let's walk us through. What are you going to do? Keep the seats the same, or are they going to be rally ones?
No, the whole of the interior is coming out tonight. Part of it will have to go back under the constraints of being Group N as opposed to a Group A car. The front seats will come out and remain out, and we'll put in the place some competition seats for safety reasons. The seat belts will be out. It'll have harnesses in, again for safety reasons. It's going to have a roll cage, as you just said, fitted. We're going to weld up the seams, which is quite normal in a rally car, to stand up to the pounding that it's going to take on the stages. The suspension is going to be changed, again for uprated suspension, same reason. The brakes, as I said, have to remain standard. The back seat has to remain in.
But you're not going to take any passengers?
No, absolutely not, but the part of the Group N says that it's got to remain as a showroom car, so you've got to keep the back seat in.
You've got to keep the price on the bonnet as well, have you? And I believe even the head restraints, they've got to stay as well.
Head restraints have to stay for the same reason. It's a Group N car.
So how long will all this take, to strip all this car, to put all the things you can put in?
I reckon it's going to take about 2 months from start to night till it's finished. Work's just finished, but the real work's just going to start. Okay, lads, take it away. It was now 7 o'clock on a wet December evening. I'd driven straight from work to Speedwell Garage in Rochdale, where Greg, William, Jay and Toby were waiting for me and the car to start work on the dismantling. The first job was to take off the bonnet. And Toby, who'd forgotten his overalls, stripped the interior. We obviously knew it was going to be a good few weeks before we reassembled the car, so everything had to be carefully stored. And guess who got that job? There were a number of things that were not going to be required on the rally car, like the central locking system, front seats, standard suspension, steering wheel, radio cassette. It all had to be stored in the required and not required boxes. All the lubrication and other fluids needed to be discarded, as did the brake and petrol pipes. These would be replaced with a special competition steel braided type, which would run on the inside of the car to stop rocks from tearing them off on the stages. Well, what I'm trying to do is keep some semblance of order here, in that when all the lads are pulling stuff off, we've obviously got to put this back together again. So there's nuts and bolts and bits and pieces of plastic and stuff coming off that we're not going to know where it goes. So I'm trying to put stuff in bags and then put stuff in boxes so that and then mark it up on the boxes, so when we put it back together it can go straight to the box and pull the relevant bits out. That's what I'm doing now. The best way of gaining speed and power on this type of rally car, that is a Group N 1300, is to lose weight from the car. That way you increase your power to weight ratio. Therefore, you basically rid yourself of anything that adds weight. You do get paranoid about this and question the need for carrying anything that looks like it isn't playing a vital role in either the holding together of or the safety of the car. I've even met people who go to the trouble of sawing unused thread off bolts to save a few grams. And everyone who drives a 1300 insists that both he and co-driver empty both bladder and bowels before the start of rally day. There was a sense of urgency in preparing this car, as we had left it a little bit late.
mainly due to the fact that we all do this in our spare time, and each of us had other commitments up until now. And we were all starting to realise our limitations.
Dashboard might be a problem because I've never taken one out of one of these, but about another hour.
You undo the 4 screws that are under there instead of half pulling the dash to pieces, and the whole dash is held in by that screw, that one, and 2 at the other side, and the whole lot just comes out. But you learn these things.
Well, it's actually something I've been interested in ever since I was at school, and it's something I've always wanted to get into, but never had the money to do so. A couple of years ago I was lucky enough to have a little bit of money, and I decided that that was the time to do it.
It is slightly cheaper than Formula 1 or touring though, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. The beauty of rallying is there's many different levels in it, and if you enter at the clubman level, as I did, you can probably get away with like £5,000 is what it cost me last year.
Tell us your rally experience so far then.
So far it's 2 years in a single make championship, of which there are several at the moment. I chose a low cost one, which in my case was the Skoda Trophy. This year it's going to be a little more expensive because we've had to move on to the new car. Last year we rallied the old car. The Felicia is the new Skoda on the market. Obviously Skoda want to promote the new car, not the old car. Last year they phased out the old car and brought the new car in, so you had a parallel championship whereby both marques ran together. This year they phased out the Favourite, which was the old car, and it's now wholly Felicia, so it's going to be quite competitive this year.
And how much will it cost to strip out the family hatchback and create this rally version?
It'll cost you the price of the car. Then it will cost you, I reckon, about £4,000 to build into a rally car.
And who have you got on your team who's actually helping you strip it out and doing all this work?
I'm very lucky because I've got a good bunch of lads who are friends. They give up their time to come with me onto the rallies and help and service my car when it breaks down. They're going to be doing the majority of the work on this vehicle.
So it's very, very much a team effort, isn't it?
It's absolutely a team effort, yeah. As I say, I'm very lucky. I've got about 5 lads helping me. Some people just turn up with their mum and dads, driving service cars and vans. Some people do their own servicing.
And finally, is there anyone, maybe amongst your friends or family, who think you're completely mad?
All of them. Especially my mother. She can't understand why I'm doing this at my age.